Good morning, all of you. It's nice to be here again on 1st of December. I hope you can hear me well and see me. If you hear some background noises, they will be gone soon, I think. It's my family on their way to work, to school. You just give me a sign if you can hear me well. So my name is Nirmala Katrin Werner. I'm living in the north of Germany with my family in an eco-village, and I'm teaching meditation, embodiment, yoga, mindfulness since I think it's now about 20 years. I spent lots of time in Sri Lanka and India, where I got first in touch with the Dharma. And that's where I met Martin and Christopher Titmus, who then authorized me to bring these teachings in the world or to the people around me. So nice to see you all dropping in here. It's really a gift, this commitment to show up here. Yeah, Frederica, I'm just reading your comment that the internet was much better when I was teaching from the other room the other times. Thank you. Yeah, I think I was on like a little holiday by then. And yeah, it's really difficult with the space in our house. Like, it's tiny here. It doesn't look like that, but I'm trying to find the places where there's internet and space and a bit quietness. So the topic, and I will try to find another place next time or try to use the internet of my neighbor. So the topic of this week I was going into was, and what still is, our longing for belonging. How do we free ourselves from the bubble of separation and really feel that we belong? And I'm happy we went through this week together so far. And if you have questions to ask, which like there's a time for in the last 15 minutes of our hour, you're so happy to put them in the chat. And please put in capital letters questions so I can recognize it more easily as a question. And also comments are fine, and reflections and sharing your insights. Yeah, and if you want to come up on screen, you just press the hand button and then I can invite you to come up on screen. It can be helpful to explore things a bit more deeply together. So today, 1st of December, is a day where people stand together in solidarity against HIV stigma and to remember lost lives. And the campaign, like our 1st December, started, I think 1986 it started. And still HIV continues to be really stigmatized and misunderstood. And I just invite you to imagine just for a moment a society where HIV or other diseases, where race, gender, sex, status doesn't stand in the way of anybody's life. Just like, what does it do to your body if you imagine being part of a group a part of society, the society as group, where it just doesn't stand in the way what gender you have, what race, sex, diseases, where it doesn't even stand in the way what crimes you have committed, in a deeper way, in an even more deeper way. So to our practice today, I invite all excluded groups, all marginalized people. And all of us, we are here because we are looking for some deeper meaning to life. We are all looking for happiness. And because where we usually look for happiness, we don't find it, we turn to something larger. That, I think, that's what brings us here together. Turning to something larger. The Buddha, he woke up to some really profound truth. Like really seeing everything impermanent. Nothing isolated, nothing isolated. If you turn towards your body, towards your cells in this very moment, like how does that feel, that nothing is isolated, that we are part of all this? Everything affecting everything else. My existence depending on all others. And when we meditate, we see that there is no fixed identity. We see, like we experience the oneness of things, the non-separation, and still to bring this insight into our life is so difficult. So one way to remember this can be to take refuge. Take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. And in case of you haven't heard before what that means to take refuge, just to put it into short words, like in Buddhism, we take refuge in the Buddha. That means in our own awakened wakefulness, in our capacity, and in the capacity of in each of us to awaken. We take refuge in the Dharma, in the path. The path home, the path home. And we take refuge in the Sangha, in the way of life we all belong. So as Dharma is the way, the Sangha is the group of people trying to get home. It's us. So I want to look into Sangha today and just wonder, what is Sangha for you? What is the Sangha supporting you in life? Who are the people around you? We're not separated, and still to bring that into life is so difficult. And the Sangha can be supporting this, can hold like a space where we are allowed to be as we are, where we don't have to pretend. Or at least it can be the holding space with an invitation that we don't need to hold anymore, that we don't need to pretend to be anybody. It's like an invitation to be completely who you are, no part left out. The Sangha is like a remembering of our way home. And it's so easy to think, oh, we have done great, and then just overview how all life is supporting us. So I want to expand Sangha also to what else is supporting you, to oneness, to trees, maybe to the fire in the oven, like what is supporting you, what is holding you. What is supporting you to face your own shadows? Sangha is not like a place where we tell each other how to be and like how we could be better. And it can be a mirror to us, an invitation to myself to remind myself, what do I really want to give in this world? How would it be if all people around us would be Sangha? We get so habitual with the people around us. We forget to value them and we don't pay attention to them so much anymore. We take it for granted that we meet our neighbors, that we meet our friends. So I have an invitation here, what you could try, like the next time you meet a friend, to look in each other's eyes and really take at least 30 seconds. Look into each other's eyes and seeing the divine in each other. And really saying to yourself, this person matters. This person is going to die. I am going to die. If we see the beauty in another person, it reminds the person of her own beauty. It supports the person to live from this place of beauty, of care. But often we seem to hold back, right? Like as if we can lose something when we allow our appreciation to come through. And we put people down, put them lower than us, or we put them higher. We're living in a mode of protecting ourselves and to keep our space just for us. And at the same time, we're longing for belonging. What if I make somebody else feel that they do belong? If I really give the gift of appreciation, if I don't hold back anymore, this can become a whole way of living, seeing the light and the goodness in all people. And rather than focusing on the mistakes and the small things, we can focus on the goodness and the wilderness in this person. And what I really encourage is entering the stream of asking for help and offering help. We really need to do this. We need to do this for us. We need to do this for society. And I'm living in this quite big eco-village with about 200 people here. And George was mentioning kind of idealizing it on the first day when he introduced me in the morning. And I just can tell you, this issue of entering the stream of asking for help and offering help is huge here. Still, people come here together to live in community. And a few days ago, while I was teaching here, someone laid in their home dead for several days in our community. We have, like, some people share houses, and it's like row houses here. It's a whole big place with row houses, like a little settlement. So some people just live on their own in their house. And still, it's community life. Also here are families with young children who are just so overwhelmed by all the tasks there are in life. Also here, people do feel lonely. But coming back to the sense of like asking for help and offering help, I just really speak out there, offer help. It's like, even like if you're tired, if you're exhausted, like just try it as a practice. What if you give a little bit? There's a movement to the heart there. And this is amazing. Something we can rest, we can get our joy from. So if you feel you have nothing to give, give. I like to go together with you into the meditation, and I want to do some chanting with you before. See if I can get that here in the chat. So Om Namo, okay, it should be Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. So Amitabhaya means entering the limitless light. You can just find a position where your heart and chest are open, and it's not about how your voice sounds, how your singing is. It's about what's going on in your cells, in your membranes, being aware of stuff going on, thoughts, feelings, emotions, and sinking back into the sounds. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya. Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo Amitabhaya. Buddhaya Dhammaya Sanghaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Om Namo, Om Namo, Om Namo Amitabhaya. Settling in, arriving home with your body. Just being. How would it feel in your body if this moment is just perfect as it is? Just be. The whole body breathing on the body of the earth. Feeling the whole body as one organism. being one with the organism, earth, air, space, water, sun, all one, just be. Maybe just be is enough. It's just enough. Just be with your whole body, could be an anchor. Being with the breath, wherever you feel it. Maybe dwelling in the soft movement of the diaphragm, sinking down into organs, down into the pelvic floor, which is expanding and holding all your organs like a hammock. And the diaphragm moving up again, giving space. Whatever is supporting you to be here, to just be. Maybe it's good to give you a nourishing hand on your heart. or any other body part. A kind, gentle hand of friendliness on your cheek, maybe. And with all this, just be. All inclusive, nothing left out. Cells, membranes, movement, sounds, friendliness, gentleness. Maybe opening the joints a bit more. Or releasing tension physically by just sinking a bit more down towards earth. receiving, being the stream of life, stream of sensations, of space. Taking a rest in the stream. And if you like, for the last minutes, entering the space of your heart with your awareness, very gentle, very kind. Sensing to the soft tissue of the heart, expanding, contracting. cuddled in between the lungs. Met by the diaphragm. In relationship with the whole tissue around all the blood veins, the whole body. In relation with all the other hearts on earth, tiny hearts, small hearts, big hearts, all with the capacity to expand, to widen. Imagine your heart area opening, widening, expanding. Imagining all hearts expanding, widening, opening. The hearts around you, the hearts of the people in your village, in your town, in your country. Allowing heart energy to fill the field. So take your time to come out of this formal practice. Maybe you can kind of transit something you got in touch with during the last half an hour inwardly to your outside world. Maybe you want to start to make some movements, stretches, yawning, sighing. Mm. And really going slowly, don't hurry. Just don't hurry. This is, I think, Chinese saying, if you're in a hurry, walk slowly. If you're in a hurry, walk slowly. So, thank you all so much for joining and sharing. It's amazing to be here with you together, and I'm very grateful for your curiosity and your trust. If there is any. I wonder how the internet is now, because I managed to switch to the internet of my neighbor. So maybe it does it different than I know for next time, but I know it's on and off. And believe me, like, we tried so much, because sometimes it doesn't work at all. And I'm teaching a lot online. I need to find different rooms. And like, there've been so many technical people coming here to help with this over the last 15 years. And yeah, it's a miracle. Nobody knows how it goes. Okay, so it seems maybe not to make a difference. Sometimes I think it's related to the rain or to the coldness. It's really, but it's the same for me with watches, to be honest. Like, they just don't work. And sometimes at the end of a teaching, like, just stand still, doesn't work anymore. I've gone through so many clocks and watches. So this is time to share about Dana. And okay, I tried to post the link here. As you know, this platform is running completely on donations, which is incredible and amazing. And I so much hope it can stay that way, and that there always comes enough financial support from your side. And no doubt that you're showing up here is a huge support. Like, otherwise this platform wouldn't exist if you weren't here. The teachers wouldn't be here. And so the platform is relying on your financial support, and we are all very grateful, like all of us, including you, if this comes together. And also myself, like Sangha Life is sharing with me. And so it goes to my livelihood. That's how I earn my money. Thank you so much. And of course, feel so free to be here, even though if you can't afford anything financial, you're still a gift. You still belong. Yeah. So I wonder if there are any questions. I posted the Dana link there. And I can maybe post my link to my websites. I'm offering, there's a deep rest meditation silent retreat in 2 weeks in the temple here in the forest, which is a very beautiful place. And I'm also teaching in the Buddhist meditation centers all over Europe at a few places. And there's an embodiment retreat in January. So I stopped doing for some time English speaking classes. If you're interested, just drop me a note. I sometimes have more questions coming. And also you can reach out to me for one-to-ones. It just can be so good to experience in a more with more time what's going on for you. So there are no questions coming from your side. I do have a beautiful poem from Rumi, and I will read that out for you, and then we can end the session together. Well, there's a question now from Jane. Can you speak a little bit more about the embodiment, please? Yes, I'm happy to do so. So embodiment means to enter the body in a way that you feel your body from the body. It's like really, really deep connecting to the tissues, to the cells, to the relationships between spine, earth, air, breath. So, and it becomes a whole different way of living if we are embodied. We are differently in this world. We are more moving freely, and like the movement comes more from our pelvis, from the legs, from the feet, and that does give us a whole different sense of being with others also, like because it releases tension from the chest and from the back where we are holding so much. Like if you want to, like I think it was the day before yesterday where I did a really embodied practice. We started standing. You can look that up. The word embodiment in Pali, there's this word yoniso, and yoniso comes from the word yoni, and it in Germany we translate it as vagina, but in fact it means all the sexual organs, but especially in the Buddhist context, yoniso is the womb, and that's like standing for the embodiment. So it's more an embelliment than embodiment, like it really comes from the belly. And it's hard to describe for me why it brings us so, like it opens a door to be more easy with ourselves. I think that's clear because there's a deep sense of ability of regulating my nervous system. Like it's really like connecting me to presence, to being. It's kind of, you can experiment like for yourself if you do a meditation where you imagine your body just begins from your neck onward down. It helps like with the embodiment. And what we do a lot in this practice is to, like in a group, to really experiment like where do my body has a no and where does it have a yes going towards others, like. And what's really encouraged in this practice is the sense of co-regulation, because it's nothing, like the whole awakening is nothing we just do on our own. It's like in relationship to earth, it's in relationship to the people around us. And what I shared today, that we often live with such a distance to people, as if we need to protect ourselves, and we don't risk ourselves. And embody can mean to just hold one other's hand, and really without going in the stories. And at the beginning, like of our practice, like it might be even like more stories there, but sinking into the contact, one skin, one tissue with another tissue, one breath in contact with another breath. Cells in contact with other cells. This is something we just trying to find the right word. I don't think there are right words to describe embodiment. And I could talk for hours about this. Like the whole practice of Dharma is a practice of embodiment. And somehow when it was brought from the East to the West, maybe there was forgotten the sense of like the embodiness, even though we're talking about being with the breath and the belly and the nostrils. We are talking about sensations, like there's so much like pointing in the direction of the body. We still think more it's about the mind. So the embodiment practice I offer is like really slowing down. It's the first thing, like really, really, really taking time to slow down, like just entering the space of the head behind the eyes, entering the space of the mouth, above the tongue, below the tongue, entering the space between the ears, and like being physically really like, and as it goes together with, it's in relationship with the breath, with the earth, and it's in relationship with the whole evolution in our bodies. So we enter different realms, I would say, like different now we stand, and then we go through different movement, we go on all fours, and we connect to animal movements, and we connect to the earth, and just describing one way into embodiment, because our practice here and just sitting and being with the body is an embodiment, sinking down more and more. When I told Martin once that one of my favorite practices to offer is being with the pelvic floor, and I often I started teaching yoga like more than 20 years ago, and like I got really passionate about yoga for the pelvic floor and inhabit the pelvic floor. And Martin said, oh, that's interesting, because the Buddha recommended or said something about feeling the breath as low as you can. And actually the breath is happening in the pelvic floor, and we don't inhabit it so much. Like most people actually are cut off from the pelvic floor. So if you start to inhabit your pelvic floor, there will be a whole shift. Like it influences the diaphragm, it influences the breath, it influences the vagus nerve. Yeah. Yeah, and the whole big thing for me is like, okay, and can I allow, like in the practice I offer when it becomes really physically, like when we're really in motion, it's a place of silence and presence, and from their insights coming through, just through being through the body, being connected to space and earth and to other people, sensing, oh, where do I want to withdraw? Where do I not need, because I'm like really full and rich in my system. No need to go in contact with others. And where would I like to be? Because there are like 10 people, maybe like laying their head on the belly of the another person. Like we don't practice this in society, but this can reduce the sense of, oh, I'm here, you are there, and I protect myself, I keep this distance. No, like there are other ways, but we are so like in our patterns of keeping distance. And the way through the body and with the body is a way to also let go for sometimes of the distances and really rest with somebody else, cuddle with somebody else. Yeah, in a really safe space. Okay, thank you all so much for being here, for listening, for sharing. It's been so lovely. Thank you so much for your all your support. Yeah, your kindness, and wishing you all the way. May our practice be beneficial for all the people around us and for this whole world. May our practice lead towards peace. May there be peace on earth.